All right, I think I got this stream up and going here. I set up a new machine, so I've been having to move everything over. I'm trying a different multi-streamer here for OBS, but I think it's working. All right, so I haven't touched this project in I think about 4 months. So I gotta like refresh myself on where things were left off. I also moved the code over to a fresh Rails project. I've been working with SQLite in a bunch of Rails projects recently, and I've been liking how it's working. So I set up a new Rails project with that and then moved all the code over. So we're up and running, and yeah, we'll jump right into this here. So we'll see where we left off. Actually, let's just go to the app here. So we're in here. We can add items. Can view them, can mark them as paid, and they disappear from the dashboard. And can set categories for them. Go forecast so we can see what's upcoming. So say your balance is $1,000. We need some unpaid items for do anything. So go $1,000 here, and then it shows you kind of your forecast. Once you have a bunch in here, or paychecks and other items, it'll give you a forecast of what's upcoming. And got the budgeting view, so you can go back and forward in your months and just see an overview of your expenses and income and our categories. So I'm gonna create one. I don't know why all my fields are transparent. I have to fix that. Okay, you know what? So one thing I'm just noticing here is the categories, when there's nothing added to it, it's just blank. So might as well fix that up. Category show. Getting an error here, my NeoVim config. Three point 4.4 is my Ruby version. I just started using Mize for my Ruby management. I've been liking it better, but I don't know the commands for it yet. Anyway, let's just get to work on this here. Okay, so category show, let's add, check if there's any items. Okay. Then ideally we should be able to add a item to this. So let's do that. Grab our button from the, I think it's in the header. Yeah, there we go. So, well, I guess we could do it from right up here. And what we should do is set a way to, Actually, you know what? Yeah, it would be nice if this button just, I'm thinking like, okay, so I want to be able to add a item to this category. Should I use this button here to do that? Will that be a bit surprising that you're adding it to the category? I mean, you could just autofill it here. That'd probably be the easiest thing. So let's try doing that. I'll take a look at my category new form. It's under form. So our field is, oh no, not category new, our item new. So it's category ID. So let's do this. Let's go, let's just add a button here. We'll say link to new item path. And then we'll go category ID is category.id. So I click on that. We gotta do this. So we're using Turbo. Add item. So we did not pre-fill it. Let's just go look at our item controller. Our new. Let's go item new. So I selected, I think it's like this. Selected. Okay. So I'm just going to undo my change here. I don't need that. Just go like this. And then we'll undo the other change up here. All right, so that pre-selects it. So we go back to categories, you can click on paycheck, we can go add item, and it pre-selects it there. Let's go back, let's clean that up. Okay, that works. Seen a bunch of things I want to clean up here. Our hover action on this button should be a cursor. Probably would be nice to separate the categories by type if it's in and out. So maybe I'll go to category index. And go like this, duplicate this. Call it categories. I'm gonna go income categories, and then expenses categories. Change this to a 2. And then we'll go income, expenses, or expense categories. Yeah. Then we'll head over to our category controller and do the same here. So we'll go income, and I just want to make sure I have an enum set up for that. In and out, yes, good. So we can go in, we can go spent, and oops, out. Okay. Change this to bold, and then go 3. Maybe even 2. Okay. It's better. You know what? I can just get rid of, this is kind of redundant. I don't need it to say income categories. We just say income and expense. All right. probably don't even need this little badge thing here, but I'll leave it for now. It's fine. Okay. Now, what else here? Okay, things I would like it to do is I would like the balance to persist. Let's take 1 second here. I need to pull up my to-do list here. Let's go OBS. I need to hide my screen for a sec. Okay, so what did I just say here? So we want to persist the current balance. What else? We'll fix the input BG color. That's an odd one. I don't know why that has happened. Something missing when I moved all the code over. Forecast budget. Categories. Same thing with the fields there. So series events, so recurring events, that's one other thing that needs to be done. So let's do that right now, actually. So we'll go recurring items, not recurring events, but recurring items. Throw this at the top. Okay, so go to the item model. So we already have I think we have a series, yeah, we do. So we have a series class. Let's go has many items, belongs to series, optional for the item. So it's already set up. Now, when we're creating an item, we'll need to be able to select if it's recurrent or not. And then on create, it'll need to create the series, and it'll also need to create the next upcoming items. So let's see here. Do I have anything here for that yet? I do not. So let's do this. So we'll say on create or not on, before create, or after, actually, after create, set up series. You know, we actually have to have the series created before because it belongs to the series. So we'll need some actually logic. We'll have to do a check in the item controller. So it'll be like item set up series if params item recurring, something like that. You know what's weird is I thought I had some like logic set up here already. So I'm wondering if I didn't bring something over. That's strange. Strange. You know what? Okay, so I'm not going to jump into that yet. One thing I'm pretty sure I need to do is create a way for users to actually create an account. So let's do that. Clearly our logout button isn't working here. This is a problem. You don't touch a project for a while. And when you change computers and migrate the code base. So it's like 3 things here. All right, so let's go to our users time zone. Where is that? That's time, user time zone. Time zone. No. So it wants us to set up a time zone if one doesn't exist, but the user isn't even logged in here. I gotta see what all is happening with these redirects here, or why this is being included in this. So time zone, where is this time zone being included? So render user time zone. Yeah, that's not a good place to put that there. But let's just do this for now. Let's go if user signed in, or no, I think, what is it for the Rails 8? I think it's authenticated. If authenticated is our helper method. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Let's make sure this works. Okay, log out. Now we have a forget password button. I don't have email hooked up, so that's not going to work yet. But we need a sign up page. So do we have a user controller? We do. Do we have a user new? We do. What does our user's new look like? Okay, so we did something. So we just need to add a button, it looks like. So let's go back to our session new. Say new to Kivos. New user path. So I should add a sign in button here too. So new to Kivos. Let's go like this. Sign in. Okay. Or should I say sign up, not sign in. Okay, and then we'll add a button over here to go back. So actually put this beside it like we have with the forgot password. So let's do this. Call spend 6, no. Let's just do this. Okay. And you know, let's also make this login view match the app. So right now it just is using the auto-generated Tailwind styling that was set up when you create a new Rails app with Tailwind. So actually what I'll do is I'll grab from our user new, let's go grab some of those classes here, copy that. Paste. Let's go cursor, pointer. I should do the same over here. Cursor, pointer. There we go. And I'm wondering if the background is just white. Is that why? Maybe I didn't burn over. It's gray. It's not very... No, so it is setting the background color. It's just that it's, yeah, these text fields are transparent. Which I don't think is a default, right? Like, form fields default to a background of white. So I think they do, right? Okay, well, that looks better. I don't have a whole lot more time. A couple of kids have to go to a doctor appointment for checkup, so I think I have like maybe 15 more minutes. Yeah, so I need to check into, like, I'm pretty sure in one of my other streams, I was working on dynamically setting up the item new form, and I was running into some issues with it. I remember that. And so the fact that there's nothing here is making me really wonder, did I just not commit anything? That's possible. Or I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going to plan out the rest, the next session here. So recurring items. So I need to check into see if dynamic item, see if item new form has any dynamic fields on old computer. So let me do that off stream because I have to go grab my computer. But once I do that, then I'll need to set up these recurring items, and what that's going to look like is we'll need to in the controller, so under in items new, check if item is recurring. If recurring, perform setup of series and subsequent items. And this needs to happen before item save, because the item has to belong to a series. I mean, it doesn't have to. So actually, technically, we could create the item first. So in that case, we could use a callback and basically check, okay, on create, or after create, then go if item. Although the problem is that I don't think we have a, let's check. Do we have a, what is our recurring fields in our items? Schema. Let's see here. So we have a series ID. Yeah, so the recurring information lives in the series. So like, for example, the frequency and the dates. So I need to create the series before I create the item. And you know, it's not even a matter of creating. So actually we're not even creating the item in the controller. And what this makes me think is, it makes me think that because essentially what you're doing is it's a completely different, yeah, you're not creating an item at this point anymore. Now you want it to be simple for the user. You don't want to have like a separate button for recurring or single items. What it should happen, you click new item, and I think what should happen is there'd be your first button. You decide, is this a single occurrence item or is it recurring? If it's single, you just click single and it brings you to this form here. If it's recurring, then you'll click on recurring, and then basically it gives you form fields based on setting up a series. And then that series form will submit to a series controller to create the series there. And then basically on the successful creation of the series, we'll have a a after create callback that goes and this can just run right in the background as a job, and it can go and create let's say it's like 10 items for that series. I think what I want to do is set it up so that you have maybe like 6 months worth of items, so that you can go 6 months down the road and see your forecast. So what that means, though, or maybe even a year, but what that means is for a series of a monthly recurrence, you need 12 items. If it's weekly, now you need 52, or then you have bi-weekly, and I think that's all we need. Semi-monthly ones, I think that's the term. Semi-monthly is when it's twice a month. So like on the 1st and the 15th. I'm not going to bother with that one because it's just easy enough to for the user to create you can set up 2 different monthly recurrent series. So one on the 15th, which just repeats every month on the 15th, and you set one up on the 1st or the 31st. It repeats every month on the 1st to 31st. And yeah. Okay. So let's rewrite this here. So items on items new. First action for a user should be to select the type of item, i.e. Single occurrence or recurrent. If recurrent, load series, we'll render the series new form. If it's a single occurrence, we render the item new form. And then we have a bunch of different, dynamic fields. I think what I'll do is I'll set up a stimulus controller to manage that. You know, like I'm almost 100% sure I had worked on this, because I remember I was even trying to use I think I was using turbo frames to do the dynamic fields, and it was just a mess. So I think using stimulus would be the way to go. That's usually how I would do this. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, there's not a whole lot much more I can do right now, I don't think, before I check into the other code base. I'm going to grab my other computer. I'll leave it at this for now. I might hop on tonight and do another stream, but we'll see. If not, probably around the same time tomorrow, I'm going to continue on here. And we'll get into actually setting up this form with the stimulus controller for managing the dynamic fields and all that. And then once I have these things done, these kind of like must-have features for adding recurrent items, I think what I want to jump into next is the push notifications. And that I will probably do before well, let's fix this input color. So that's annoying. So let's do that. All right, so that'll be the order of next items here. All right, well, I'm off. See you later.